All right. Good morning again. I think we have fixed my mic. Shirley, can you please confirm? Anyone? All right, good. We are live again. I am so sorry about that. Um, all right. Anyway, thank you, Kathy, for the fantastic introduction. Fantastic session with Angelique Ruers. I love the insight. I loved her energy. She talked about so many great ideas, and I connected with two themes for today's panel discussion with the corporations. One was cultivating relationships and sparking ideas. The individuals you are about to meet are your key corporate stakeholders where you need to start cultivating relationships. The power starts here. Leverage the power of the supplier diversity advocates as they are your eyes and ears of the organization who advocate for women-owned businesses every day. These individuals are going to provide you valuable insight and information to assist with the transformation of your business and sparking ideas. So now let's meet the panelists. I'm going to go in alphabetical order by corporation. I'm going to ask each corporate to introduce themselves, give a brief company overview, and talk about the products and services you buy. So we're going to start with Kara at Anthem, please.
Hi there. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kara Kosowski. I work at Anthem, which is Fortune 25 largest Blue Cross Blue Shield provider. I'm based out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Good to be here with all of you. And my team specifically has responsibility for purchasing all of our technology-related products for the company. So think software, all of our IT-related labor, hardware, and digital platform-related activities. So good to be here.
Thank you, Kara. And then Roger, Ball State University.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and it's a pleasure being here. My name is Roger Hassenzahl. I am the Director of Purchasing Services here at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. We're one of 7 state universities here in Indiana, so it's a pleasure being here. My responsibilities, and we're like a small city within a city, so our requirements and our needs are across the spectrum, everything from construction supplies to custodial to professional services.
Great. Thank you, Roger. Shirley from Eli Lilly.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I am Shirley Tang-Audritsh. I'm with Lilly. Lilly is a pharmaceutical company. We market our pharmaceutical products in over 120 countries, and we have over 100 products. So I've been with Lilly for 25 years and had a variety of responsibilities with them for the past 18 years. I've been with their procurement, and the past 10 years I have been managing their supply diversity program. So great to see everyone.
Thank you, Shirley. Raymond Boufford from Forcia.
We at Forcia, we are one of the top 10 largest auto parts suppliers in the world, headquartered in Paris, France. Many have not heard of us because of our strong European heritage. Excited to be here today. We have 5 business groups or divisions within our company: interiors, seats, clean mobility, electronics, and modular assembly and just-in-time sequencing that we do for our automotive customers. And Sherry, we are competitors, but we're partners today. So thanks for the introduction. I look forward to working with you.
Great. Thank you, Ray. And Robert Steed from Indiana Toll Road.
Good morning. Yes, Robert Steed. I'm procurement manager for the Indiana Toll Road. Actually, the company, it's a privately held company, so many people think we're the state, but we're not the state of Indiana. And we operate and maintain 157 miles of the 80-90 interstate highway that runs across the northern part of Indiana. We're headquartered in Elkhart, right smack dab in the middle there. And it's a pleasure to be here. I'm the top of the procurement food chain within the company. Everything kind of runs up through me. A big part of it is supplier diversity. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Great. Thank you, Robert. And Art McClellan from Lear.
Last but not least, right? Good morning, everyone. Art McClellan, I'm Director of Supply Diversity here at Lear. We Our major things that most folks would probably know us for are seats, but we also have a division that deals with e-systems, dealing with the interconnectivity within the vehicles. I support uh, all commodity teams across those business units in helping them identify, vet, and bring into our supply chain those suppliers that can bring some value to us. So I'm looking forward to having a great discussion with my colleagues here. And again, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Art. All right, let's get into the panel discussions. And then to the audience, if you have any questions along the way, just please drop them in the chat message and we'll monitor those and bring those questions forward as we have time. So the first question, um, Robert, can you share potential 2022 supplier concerns?
Sure. Yeah, I think the biggest concern on our mind right now is the capacity of skilled workers in construction. That's one of the biggest of our spend. And so um, with the potential for, with the infrastructure bill, that the capacity of getting those construction services. And everybody's aware of the job market with the workers in general. And so that's our biggest one. Our next one isn't a surprise either, is the lead times. But specifically, we are in a big push for our technology upgrade. So lead times in technology chips, and I'm sure there's a few people on this panel that are shaking their heads on that. So those are our major supplier concerns.
Yes, I think we can all relate to those. Ray, so what about for SIA? What are the concerns for next year?
Well, we like to think the auto industry is unique, but I don't think we're that much unique compared to everybody else. I kind of equate it to the March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament, in a couple areas, and that is, we've been fighting to get into the tournament, and we're in the tournament. And the last year and a half has been nothing but problems. We started with COVID, and the first round and phase of COVID we fought through, and those are supplier concerns that we've had to deal with. And then right on the heels of it comes the microchip shortage. And so it's like advancing to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight and the Final Four in the championship game. We're going to beat microchip shortage, but we don't think until half two of next year that we really get that behind us. And then you get to the championship round. What's going to happen with COVID in the next generation of iteration of COVID-19 issues? And after that, when you get to the championship game, now the other key things that we're faced with in 2022, inflation. Inflation's a big problem for us. Logistics costs, labor crisis, and raw material costs are all being challenged by not only us, but our supply base. And so finding solutions to those issues and managing inflation is going to be critical for success in 2022. The other one I think is a concern. It's the question of you don't know what you don't know. The chip shortage, in our opinion, is masking other material shortage issues and other supplier concerns. So as we get past the chip shortage, hopefully we get past that sooner than later. We're concerned about raw material and other material issues that can come from the chip shortage. Thanks.
All right. Yes, we can certainly relate to that at Adient as well. Anyone else want to add about concerns that we haven't addressed yet?
Sherry, I'd like to just add on to what Ray was saying is also looking at the one of the things in 22 we wanted to kind of focus on is understanding the financial health of our suppliers as we move into this new dynamic. Coming out of all of these challenges in 21, we really want to make sure that those partners that we select to go forward with us in the future are sustainable and that they have long-term growth opportunities with them.
Great, excellent point. Anything else? All right. So we're going to change the conversation a little bit. So talking about mentorships and what are the corporations doing to help support the WBEs and giving mentorship opportunities? So Shirley, can you talk about what you're doing at Eli Lilly on mentorship opportunities?
Sure, definitely. So with Lilly, over the years, we have partnered up with a lot of advocacy groups to support their mentorship program, such as Great Lakes, WBCs, Diversity Alliance for Science, National Minorities Supply Development Council. So we support their mentorship program each year. Next year, we are also looking into re-engaging our mentorship program with National Veteran Business Development Council as well as NGLCC. Also, Lilly has our own branded mentorship program. So this year, we actually took on 7 Black business enterprises to go through our mentorship program. This is actually developed to provide them an opportunity to increase their business knowledge as well as the best practices in the industry. So basically to help them better position themselves when they approach potential business opportunities. We also trying to use these to engage our internal leadership so that to increase the supply development initiative within Lilly. So we will continue to do that, and mentorship is actually one of the key pillars for our supply diversity program. So we will continue to do so.
Great. Thank you, Shirley, for sharing. And Ray, what are you guys doing at Forcia?
Wow, I wish I could say we were doing more than we are right now in this space, but unfortunately, we're not. I took this role on as champion for minority supplier development back in 2019, actually 2020, and we laid out 6 pillars of success. And I'm proud and happy to say that we've accomplished 5 of those pillars, but the one we haven't gotten a lot of traction on, and it's not because of lack of desire, but it's just the time to do it, was a proper mentorship program. So in 2022, that's one of our key objectives, is to launch an improved mentorship program where we mentor our minority supplier partners and help them find their way through Forcia. I mean, we're a large corporation, and it's not easy to do business with large corporations, but when we can find win-win opportunities, I think it's the right thing. And so we want to do that. We have done some ad hoc mentorship programs. I've got a couple WBC certified members that we're working with. One in particular, we have a really big union plant where we needed a quality wall help, but it needed to be a unionized facility. And one of our WBC partners raised their hand and said, we're certainly interested in being a part of that, but we don't have union workers. So we've worked with them and mentored them on the art of dealing with unions and how to bring success. And I call it a win-win-win. We win, our partners win, and the UAW wins. And so that's one of our success stories. That's what we're going to take forward into 2022 as we try to build a more fulfilling mentorship program for some of our current suppliers and some of our new ones.
Right. I love that both you guys are intentionally focusing on mentorship opportunities with the women business owners, with the formal programs, and certainly leveraging the councils. The councils have, a lot of opportunities where corporate members can, get engaged, get involved, help sponsor, and help provide the conversation and the educational piece. So definitely a great avenue there. And then Ray, you talked about, doing something on a smaller scale. a mentorship. I look at that as an informal mentorship. You got the formal structured programs, but I know all of us do informal mentoring, specific to, a women business owner and just providing some guidance. So I think that's a great way to look at it as well. Any other corporates want to talk about mentorship opportunities?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to add one of my best events for the past year and a half has been a company that another WBC company that we ad hoc mentored, if you will, and it took some time. It took about 6 months for us to find the right opportunity for them within our company. But I'm confident we're doing a beta test with them. They're looking at finding ways to help us reduce our utility costs, and preliminary results are very positive. And so I'm confident that we're going to grow that across our company. We tried them with our one of our JV partners, and in the matter of 1 year, they found about $150,000 of savings for us. So we're going to expand that across multiple sites now, and that's if you talk about what Angelique was talking about, relationships and partnerships, that's what it's all about. And
Mhm.
not only do you feel good when you're finished, but we deliver great results for our company and our partners' companies. So another example of execs on the customer side stepping out and trying to be mentors for some of the great companies that deserve opportunities.
Great. Thank you, Ray. Anyone else from the corporations would like to add?
So
Ball
I
State,
just want to offer my help. We have a pretty good mentorship program, as I mentioned. So if anybody is looking for guidance on how to start a mentorship program or looking for, just ins and outs, I'd be very happy to share. Just want to offer that to my corporate partners here.
Great. Thank you, Shirley. Collaboration, I think, in the corporate realm is invaluable. The more that we can do together, and like Ray mentioned, yeah, Adient, Forcia, and Lear and Magna, we're all competitors, but in this space, we truly work together to help grow women business owners. So, yep, I love the collaboration. Thank you, Shirley, for the offer. So, any corporations on the call, uh, connect with Shirley. Anything else? Anyone else wants to add on that question?
Ball State, we set up an interesting, I'm also the chair of the Diversity Spend Task Force team. And one thing we've done is we set up a chat that takes place weekly that all diversified business are welcome to join. And it takes place every Wednesday from 2 to 3. And what they do is we have all of our purchasing agents on board. I'm on board, other individuals here at the university, and they can ask us direct questions face to face or computer to computer, I should say, in today's time. But they can ask us in real time, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've been trying to reach you. I have this product. And also, it gives us the opportunity to explain our processes to the diverse businesses, as well as hear what roadblocks that they're having and deal with every day. And it's expanded out now to the businesses actually mentor each other, and they start connecting and how they can do business with each other as well. So it's really grown into a great information, let's say, lifeline type deal. And again, we hold these every Wednesday, as well as we're reaching back out to diversified suppliers when they do not win a bid. And what we're doing is reaching out and letting them know, maybe, explaining to them where they fell short and things we can do in the future. So to help them with not just winning bids here at Ball State, but help them win bids with other businesses that they're trying. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Roger. I love the 2 points that you brought up, business to business mentoring. So even the WBEs, you guys can work together. Highly recommend that. Maybe different industries and sharing best practice. I think that's also great informal mentorship program. And then the second one is the feedback, Roger. I love that you're focusing on giving feedback, and that's just another, value add of knowing your supplier diversity professional in the corporation. Make sure you close the loop. If you don't win that bid, ask, Why not? What do I need to do differently? Sometimes, we are the eyes and ears of the corporation, but sometimes the supplier diversity professional is not completely connected to that buyer to understand where you fell into that bid opportunity. So make sure we are engaged. Make sure you follow up with your advocate of that corporation. Thank you, Roger. Great points there. So I'm going to go off to a different topic and talk more about commodities. So, Kara, at Anthem, can you talk about what commodity areas are showing growth?
Yeah, thanks. We've got several, I think, most recently showing growth, which is astounding given kind of the economy, what's going on. Where we're seeing it most, though, is really around, I would say, a couple of different areas. The first is anything kind of nuanced or specialized. So think about new ways of bringing technology, new ways of automating, new ways of any kind of digital AI capabilities. And that's not just the technology itself, but it's also labor related to that. It's just people and tools and knowledge that really are around that entire, ecosystem of vendors. The other thing I'd say is we kind of talked about this at the very beginning with 2022 challenges, but I think that really talent is a huge growth factor for us right now, looking for key talent, and that's both internal, external partnerships across the board. We are seeing a big need for that, and it's a growing area in the fact that it's just trying to find the right people in the right places to really help drive Anthem forward. So those are a couple of the big things. One other thing I just say is you've all probably seen a lot of this, but anything that really is we have expansion for all of our members with different products that we're offering. So what we're seeing is actually additional offerings to let's say our Medicare, Medicaid membership, folks that have different types of insurance products. We're actually offering more on top of those right now. So seeing just, again, expansion, it's anything new. So think about anything that you were to have an insurance plan, we may be adding on additional specialty benefits or different types of programs, but also what could a member get? So it's kind of, it's pretty expansive in terms of where we're seeing growth, but that's a good sign for a change.
Great. Thank you, Kara. Art, how about you? What are you seeing in Lear?
As we move into 22, some of the things that I'm seeing is around automation and electrification. Those are going to be some really high growth areas for us, particularly as we move into what is commonly known as Industry 4.0. How do you make those factories of the future more autonomous, more automated? And so what we're seeing is there's going to be a lot of opportunity or in that area in particular as we move forward. So the thing that I challenge suppliers that I encounter is how do you fit within that ecosystem as we move forward? Have where can in that supply chain can you fit? As we know, we're moving in that direction. So, particularly in automotive electrification, 5 years from now, the vehicle you drive today is not the vehicle you'll be seeing on the road in 5, 6 years from now. It just won't be. So, if you're in our space in particular, how are you pivoting to make sure that the product or service you're offering is going to fit within the new dynamics of the industry as we move forward? So, for me, that's where I'm looking at several areas within our company to identify, and a lot of it is IT, and a lot of it is automation, particularly around Industry 4.0 initiatives.
Great. Thank you, Art. Any other corporates would like to add in?
Well, I can't help myself here. First of all, congratulations on the new role, Art. Glad to have you.
Thanks, Ray.
Commodities, when I look at products and our customers, they're looking for, higher level electronics, connectivity, new value spaces such as electric vehicles. And those are all exciting and great opportunities. And Art's right. We need to focus on where we can add value into that area. Another area where we're really focused on is carbon neutrality and sustainability. And it can be really complex solutions, or it can be as simple as changing out our high-lows from gas to hydrogen powered. And so there's lots of opportunities for big and small companies to focus in on these areas of sustainability and carbon neutrality. And so don't just focus on what's going on in the automotive electronic space, because you'll get lost in the minutia. Focus on things you can do to help deliver sustainability and carbon neutrality. And I think not only the world will be better, but the suppliers will be better for it. So.
Great. I love that sustainability, where we all need to be
Yeah.
focusing on for a better tomorrow. So thank you, Ray, for sharing. Anyone else want to talk about commodities and what they're seeing as growth?
So a couple areas that I have seen that's showing growth. One is in digital marketing, and the second one is a real-time data analysis. So even before the pandemic, I've seen the trend of companies going from the traditional marketing tactics, such as promotional materials and brochures, printed brochures, and moving these into more of an e-platform. And this becomes even more obvious over the pandemic, the past 1.5 years, when people were being locked down and all that. So anybody who specialized in the communication, e-platform, mobile apps, I think this will be a great opportunity for them to showcase their capabilities. And the second thing is with the real-time data analytics. Especially with Lilly, right? I mean, so our purpose is to deliver innovative medical solutions to make people's lives better. So we go through all sorts of investigational drugs and trying to get them to the speed. So having real-time data analytics will help us to get to a product decision sooner. So those are the two areas that are definitely seeing opportunities for suppliers.
Excellent. Wow, those are some great suggestions. So WBEs, hope you're taking some notes, some innovative ideas on where you can drive your business. So talking about innovation and ideas, Roger, can you talk about what innovative ideas and solutions are you welcoming, and in any particular areas?
Again, being a little different than the corporations, obviously, but I know this firsthand because I was part of the federal mogul team for many years in the corporation. Loved it. But we're kind of across the spectrum. Opportunities are definitely available in areas such as bring us the best. Obviously, we're supporting the student body, so we need items such as janitorial, custodial, everything from disinfectants to normal toiletry supplies to paper towels to water softener, salt. All those commodities are important, and we take them in large, consume them in large quantities. As well as in the construction area, we're always looking for participation in construction. If you can't, we always tell the women, minority, and veteran businesses, if you can't compete in the tier 1 at that time, reach to the tier 2. And what we do is we strive to connect our tier 1, our major construction companies, with diversified tier 2 suppliers, so that they can connect and partner for future business. And we've been preemptive in this by reaching out to the larger construction companies that usually seem to be the repetitive winners of the bids. And what we do is we form partnerships between them and diversified suppliers, so that in future, when projects come up, they're already on board and ready to move forward. And then we don't get from our major suppliers the answer of, well, we couldn't find no diversified businesses to participate. We've already crossed that bridge and we're already there. So them are things we're doing, them are areas, and professional services. I mean, we're always looking for good motivational speakers or people that can train on various topics throughout the university. So we're kind of across the board, but always searching for diversified partners in all those areas, all of them.
Great. Roger, I love the reference to the tier two connections. Many of the corporations, we have tier two initiatives where we expect the suppliers to have supplier diversity initiatives in their supply base. And so there's a great opportunity where the corporate advocates can connect you to additional corporations. So I love that reference. And then make sure that the WBEs that you're registering with the corporation. So if they have a registration link, make sure you register and make sure you put keywords in there that will help the advocate find you quickly. So everybody has a different registration portal. And if you don't mind, the corporations that are on the call, if you've got a portal on this panel, just go ahead and drop your link, and the WBEs can take that as an opportunity to register with them. Again, keywords are critical. Provide as much information as you can about your business so that the advocates can find you and be able to connect you. So, Robert, Indiana Toll Road, what are you guys doing for innovative ideas and solutions?
Well, we're we're always looking for the latest and greatest in safety. Safety is a very high priority, and I'll tell you, I'm on the safety committee, and for our employees to bring innovative ideas, but being in procurement also, I know, suppliers and those partners can bring innovative ideas in the safety realm that we may not have thought of yet. So safety is a particular area, and it's it's brought up sustainability. That's the next big heavy hitter. We are taking necessary steps to go carbon neutral by 2050 is the goal as a road. Some would say, well, that seems interesting. I mean, we don't just manage the road. We have a lot of buildings. We have a lot of machinery, and so we need innovative ideas to help us move forward in our environmental health and safety is key to ever is reaching that goal in 2050. So those would be the main areas that I would say reach out. That in Sherry, you're spot on. If you're not if you haven't filled out our application to become a partner, and it's going to be hard to find you. That's a big struggle. Is just connecting, and we do have a portal at our website, indianatollroad.org. It's a big long word. We'll post the link. But yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Rob. And Lynn Drake had a question about how to identify tier two suppliers. Again, building that relationship with your supplier diversity professional. I mean, we can all give you some guidance. We know who in our supply base is looking for diverse suppliers or who need to be looking for diverse suppliers. So, just continue to build that relationship. So that would be my guidance. Anyone else, feel free to add to that.
Yeah,
So
I'm sorry,
with
go ahead.
Lilly, we have about 200 suppliers that are doing our tier two reporting. The way we establish these is we look at our strategic suppliers, and we also look at our suppliers that we spend a lot of money with. So each year we kind of reevaluate that, and we actually build these into our contract with our prime contracts. Basically, we say, hey, in order to do business with Lilly, we expect you to extend, X percentage of Lilly businesses to small diverse suppliers. And then, during the routine reviews with them, supply relation management reviews, we actually use the tier two as one of the metrics. I'd be happy to share our tier two process as well. I mean, we use an external vendor to help us reporting these. And the other thing, what I personally do is when we have like a local regional events for outreach, I make sure to bring some of our prime suppliers, such as like CBRE that manage our facility management services. Like Agile One, they manage our like staffing services. So I make sure bring some of our tier one to these outreach events to encourage them to talk to the suppliers and then get them onboarded as our tier two. And again, this is one area that I'd be happy to share our process with.
Great. I love that, Shirley. I look at that as giving, our supply base and your supply base a hand up and helping them connect with the women-owned businesses. So great examples. Thank you for sharing. I think there was one more example. Sorry, I didn't catch the name when you came on camera. Is there one more?
Ray Boufford here again.
Hey, Ray.
Hey, I'm excited about this as well. We've got some great tier two suppliers, some minority businesses, some not, and they're doing outstanding things with their supplier panel and developing their minority business panels. I think the biggest challenge is not really understanding where you might fit in the supply chain, whether it's with me or with one of my suppliers. So that's a challenge. And the way we're trying to address that, we attend a lot of matchmaker events, and I know Sherry, you do as well, and Art, I know you will, and so on and so forth. We've changed the way we approach the matchmakers. In the past, you'd sit at a booth in a physical booth, and people would come up to you and talk to you and want to, tell you what they can do for you, and most times it ended there. With COVID, we did the booths virtually. And I think we got a better chance to have a 2 or 3 minute conversation. But what we've committed to all the suppliers that come into our booth is a 30-minute meeting afterwards, where I sit in a meeting with you, and we understand what your capabilities are, what your interests are, what your company looks like, and then we either try to align you with one of our business groups, with our indirect purchasing group, or with a tier two supplier. And we've had some good success. We've matched about 5 or 6, and we've only been doing this for about 6 months. We started in May, but we got about 5 or 6 of those meetings have resulted in relationships with tier two suppliers. So I think we talked about this quite a bit. Get out there, network, be heard, be seen, and the opportunities will find themselves. And that's what our approach has been.
Great. I love that. Wow. Wow. I love the commitment with the 30-minute meetings. That's very impressive. And, I would add to that, get out there, build your networks, and be patient. Please be patient. Just, we're all really working together to advocate for you. It does take time. So it may take, it will probably not take a week. It may take a year or longer, but don't give up on that relationship. Just keep building it. And you see the advocates at events, and just go up and reintroduce yourself and tell us what's going on, what's new and exciting in your space. So, again, cultivating relationships. I love that Angelique presented that topic today. Make that your strategy for 22, at least one of them. So there was another question here from Lynn. If we wouldn't qualify as a tier one supplier, should we register with the companies anyway? In my opinion, yes, 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 yes. Because if we do not know about you, we can't advocate for you. That's an Adient opinion. I don't know if any other corporations want to jump in on that response.
I would echo what you just said, Sherry. Is yes. I don't know how many times I go out and we hold we've held some opportunity fairs. We try to connect people. We that's one big thing is even if you don't think you can supply directly to us, sign up as if you can. And I personally look at the database, pull it, and I work it to try to connect where I can find opportunities, even if it's not inside with directly with the Indiana Toll Road. So you're spot on, Sherry.
Great. Thank you very much, Rob, for that. So we talked about sustainability a little bit earlier in the conversation. And so another question to Art, I know you touched on it briefly. Is your company looking beyond the supply chain to improve sustainability?
Yes. We are following the UN guidelines on sustainability. So we have that as our overriding goal. But beyond that, it's funny you asked that question. I just took a course yesterday in dealing with doing your due diligence regarding recruitment fees for migrant workers who may be down lower into your supply chain, but that is a signal of potential forced labor. And so, how do you put things in place to make sure that you aren't unsuspectingly doing things that are supporting those type of activities? So those are the types of things that we're getting into also beyond just uh, looking at our supply chain, is getting into the workers. How are workers treated? Are they being treated fairly? Are they being charged these fees? And if you don't know what those recruitment fees are, it's almost like particularly it affects a lot of migrant workers in countries where they are charged a fee for their visa to deal with an agency to actually uh, get into a country, and then that is held against them in terms of debt that they are then entitled to pay back to someone else. And so it's just a vicious cycle that the debt is so high that they never make enough money to pay it back. So those type of activities are out there, and we as major corporations could be supporting that unknowingly. And so making sure that you are putting things in place and doing the auditing and monitoring of those situations to make sure that you are not contributing to those type of activities.
Okay. Thank you, Art. Shirley, Eli Lilly, what is your company doing?
Sure, yeah. So that's a great question. We definitely look at sustainability beyond just the supply chain. So we take a comprehensive approach by looking at three aspects. One is environmental, one is social, one is governance. So from environmental perspective, we wanted to make sure everything we do will minimize impact to the environment. And then socially, we want to make sure that everything we do will make the lives and the communities that we live and operate in better. We also wanted to make sure that we empower diverse workforce. And then lastly, from governance perspective, we wanted to make sure that we establish like a good business ethics around it to ensure that the business is sustainable. So yeah, so that's kind of what our core approach is with Lilly when it comes down to sustainability.
Great. Thank you, Shirley. Is there anyone else want to add on? So I know for sustainability, utilize the internet. So a lot of corporations publish their sustainability reports. So if you want to learn more about what those corporations are doing, use the power of the internet and visit your potential customer sites or existing customer sites and learn about what they are doing and what they are reporting. You might be able to, read between the lines and see where you can insert some innovative ideas and solutions.
Sherry, if I could, I
Yes,
would
please.
even take that a little further and say beyond just sustainability. All of us are public companies, so there's an annual report as well as that sustainability report, and within those, it's talking about what is our long-term strategy, where are we looking for, where do we see areas for growth. Those are things that could help you identify where you could possibly fit within our supply chain, because it's out there. It's not hidden. You can
Hmm.
download it and take a look and really deep dive, and then kind of see where you think you can fit within where we say we're going. And so I would certainly echo what you're saying about doing your research in terms of sustainability, but take it even a step further and say, overall, that the target companies that you want to make your customers, where, do the research on them and see where you can fit within their supply chain and their strategy for growth.
Great, excellent. And a lot of people are, adding on their DE&I initiatives, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So you may be able to find that information. And if there's a public statement on that, then you know that that company's culture is embedding DE&I not only in their workforce, but in their supply base. So again, this is all about cultivating relationships. Know your customers, know who you're connecting with. So excellent. Thank you all for sharing. So, all right, the last question. So everyone feel free to join in, but we'll start off with Roger. What are your 22 strategies? What are you planning to implement next year?
Well, we're continuing to push out and expand the diversity vendor chat sessions. We learn something from every single one of them. I mean, you go in there thinking, as you guys all probably know, there's never you never cover it all, but you think you've got it captured and you've got the right strategy going in, and then a diversified business will share something with you and they'll flip you upside down, and you'll be like, oh wow, we never thought of that, And sometimes implementations will have an adverse effect. So we sometimes think we're doing good, and they'll tell us back, no, you've just put another roadblock up for us. So we listen to those chat sessions very carefully. We invite, and we will continue to invite as we move forward in 2022. We have various co-hosts that join. A lot of times they may be financial institutions. Sometimes there are other large, like IU Health and other businesses, and we have them join. We're going to have the city of Indianapolis. And what we do in that is we become a platform, and we allow them to make partners and connections through us with these other large companies or other large entities. So we'll continue to do that as we move forward. We're going to extend our outreach as far as we're going to have a veterans vendor fair coming up, as well as a diversity vendor fair, which, as I believe it was Shirley had said, that they connect the vendors there, that the main suppliers, with the minority women and veteran suppliers at the same time, to make sure those tier 2 are connecting with the tier 1s. We will do that. We are working hard. We already have meetings set up again with the major construction companies, and talking to them and asking them, providing them, number one, with a list of tier 2 construction companies that can support them, and making sure that those lifelines are there, and that they are using them. We do follow up after our construction projects. We follow up on them. We're not just going by someone telling us that they're going to use women, minority, or veteran businesses. We follow up and ensure at the end of that is exactly what they have done. So we're improving every day on those things, and continuing to work again with companies that like have joined here today, and listening to their strategies and their ideas, because again, we learn something every day. So that's really pretty much where Ball State is today. We have our university president has been amazing, and he has actually put into our mission statement and our university strategy and strategic plan. He has included diversity in there, and inclusive excellence, and that has made a world of difference, showing that type of support throughout the entire university. So it has definitely been worth its weight in gold. We've created a video because it may be a little different here than in some of the corporations. It's very important that we get the buy-in of the campus community. So we have 7 colleges here, soon to be 8, And I'll start a training session here in about 2 weeks with human resources. And what it will be explaining is the importance of diversity spend and what it means, where they think those $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $800 buys are not that impactful. But what that means is it adds up into a year's total spend to a diversified business that may be smaller. And what that will mean, you talk a $25 million spend annually in a specific area, that makes a big difference to a small or a diversified business. So we are focusing heavily on that to ensure that the campus community is educated in that area. So that's some of the things we're doing as we move forward.
Great. Thank you, Roger. Kara, what's Anthem doing for 22 strategy?
Thanks. So 22 is going to be different than all years we've seen before. The old days of, I think, consolidation and making sure that we do want strategic partners, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of full scale in terms of what we're looking for now. We are looking for innovation. We're looking for talent. We're looking for things that are just different. So some of the things that we're doing that I think are a little bit different, we actually have dedicated time and focus from individuals internally who are looking for partners, looking for true due diligence and vetting of our vendors, and making sure that we are inclusive and we are diverse, and we are looking for really who can partner with us best to come in and help to drive our initiatives forward. So it's very different, is what I would tell you, from the last 10 years that I've been in this industry, and I've seen us continue to just push in directions that didn't make a lot of sense. So it's been refreshing to see just a change. And I'll echo some of the things that have been said before with our company is also modifying, and inclusion and diversity is up top focus. I'm involved in several of the panels internally about that, and it reigns through to our supplier relationships and our organization, and really putting a focus and an emphasis on that. So I would say that for 22 and what we're doing to implement, it's going to look different, but I'm excited and encouraged by just, again, looking for new, different, fresh perspectives on both our supply chain and our general membership and partnerships in general.
Great. Thank you, Kara. We are at the end of our time. Oh my gosh, it was a fabulous conversation. Thank you to all of our panelists for sharing your thoughts and ideas, and hopefully we are inspiring you all to cultivate relationships, not only with this excellent group of corporations, but all the corporations that you are engaging with, and sparking ideas. So, Kathy, I will turn it back to you.
Okay, fantastic. Sherry, you did a great job. I really appreciate, especially all of our corporates. I appreciate your transparency and being honest and sharing. That is the goal here, for our WBEs to be successful and to have a positive relationship with our corporate members. Because I must share with the WBEs, the corporate members constantly share with me how they would like to support WBEs and support their growth.